Are we streaming live?
Uh,
I see some kind
yeah,
of
yeah, you're
icon.
good. You're good now. It says custom streaming service. It's going.
Yeah.
Try look at the.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
This took a while. I had to do it twice for some reason.
Technology.
Hmm.
Okay, so we're live, folks. Welcome. Thank you. This is Lance Luke and Martin Pea. Appreciate you joining us on our Zoom platform and wherever we're streaming live. Supposed to be Facebook, uh, LinkedIn, and YouTube, but hopefully we are. And it's interesting to see people from not only Hawaii, but the United States. And then also we got people from around the world. Um, the subject matter is to help small business owners and entrepreneurs build, manage, market online. But it's basically for any business owner. And today we're going to be talking about newsletters and using AI publishing. The topic is AI publishing newsletters retain interested and informed customers. So before that, I have a little, let's see. Oh, let me back up. I forgot to hit the record button. So welcome everybody. This is AI Publishing Ask the Marketing Experts webinar. We're talking about the newsletters to retain interested and informed customers. Martin Pea, Lance Luke, uh, webinar presented by Expert Media Matters, which is a digital marketing company. Uh, we got to get Martin's picture up here one day. I don't know. Martin, are you going to Hollywood with me? If so, bring your suit and we'll take pictures on the red carpet. If not, I'll just do it alone. Um, this is part of the Ask the Expert series, and it's happening right now. So let me see. What I want to tell you guys is that uh, I have firsthand experience on publishing newsletters. We have our own publishing company. We publish books, social media posts, blog posts, and also newsletters. And we're using AI. In the past, I had to write everything from scratch. So can you believe how happy I was when AI, ChatGPT, came into play and now we're cutting down our time to get the content out tremendously. I can spend more time playing music and I don't have to be writing all these articles and all that. So it's fun. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're publishing a newsletter once a month, once a quarter, once a year, but I think once a year is kind of too long a time period, frequency. Uh, but if you're not doing a newsletter, I suggest you consider one because how else are you going to be in front of your clients and customers? Now, I'm going to talk about the email publishing newsletters, but it also is consistent with email marketing because we're sending our newsletters out via email. We're not, in the past, we were printing newsletters out and we have to go to the printers and then get it back and put stamps on it, or, we have it pre-stamped with the bulk rate stamp on it. And so it was just time consuming. Now it's so much easier. So it's easier to get the newsletters out in people's hands. Now the good part about it is your newsletter is direct to the user's inbox, and you're not interrupting them, so to speak, as if let's say you called him up on the phone and the guy's busy doing something. He can't talk to you then, or he might talk to you, but he's half there and half not. Um, with the newsletters, the person gets it and they don't have to open it up. They can open it up when they have time, or if they don't have time, they can save it and read it later, or they can just delete it. So it's not, you're giving them an option. Okay. The other thing with the newsletter is establishing brand loyalty. I use it to educate. So you're doing the newsletter not to just, it's not always an ad advertising. I use my newsletters for mainly education, and then I stick a few things in about uh, the company. But the whole basis of the newsletter is educating them, giving them information on what's going on or what they need to know. So that's a big part. And then you establish meaningful connections with people, right? And I always get amazed or happy when I bump into people and said, "Hey, I got your newsletter. I always read your newsletter. Thanks, because I didn't know that kind of stuff." And my newsletter is, although we're talking about marketing and AI, I have a construction management company, so my newsletter is written to the building and construction industry, mainly property managers, condo board members, and so forth. So that's the niche audience that I have. You use your newsletter to make that connection with the audience. And the connection is, hey, I'm here. Hey, don't forget about me. But instead of saying, I'm here, don't forget about me, you send them the newsletter and it'll have your picture maybe, or it have some kind of informative article and they can learn from it. And that's how they get to want to read the next newsletter, because they want to know what other things they can learn from you, right? Or um, in my next month's newsletter, I'm going to be talking about my trip to Europe. So these kind of personal things helps too, because people, it's not always about business. If you open up and tell the audience, yeah, I went to Europe and here's where the things that I visited, and give a little story there, that always helps. Now, there's three C's in newsletter publishing. It's crafting compelling content. Okay. And that also applies to blog posting and social media posting. What you want to do is story tell. You want to tell a story. Everybody likes to listen to stories, right? It all started when you're a little kid and your parents read a book to you. It always like started once upon a time, or on a dark and dreary night, or something like that. So you're interested, and that's like human nature. Make sure when you publish your newsletter, it's mobile friendly. Okay, gotta do that. And then you want to put in maybe some case studies, some key takeaways. Maybe run a uh, contest, give away gifts or something. And then the other thing is our newsletters, when we publish it and send it to our email list, okay, at the same time, we're posting the newsletter on our social media platform. So, for instance, my company issues a monthly newsletter. We send it out, okay, via email to our email database. At the same time, we're posting the newsletter to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I don't know, I forget what other places. But um, so that expands our audience, right? And then there's people who are on Facebook who are not on our email database, and so they don't get the newsletter every month, but they see it, and if they're interested, they can subscribe, right? So that's how you build your list. Let's get right into the nitty gritty of things. So the introduction, the power of AI and exchanging, uh, enhancing newsletter publishing. By harnessing the power of AI, publishers can now create personalized and engaging content that resonates with readers. Now, I'm saying publishers can now create. guess what? If you're writing a newsletter, you're a publisher, whether you like it or not, right? You're a content creator. You're writing content, providing information. Okay, so every business owner should be their own publisher. If you're a business owner, you should be a content creator. If not, you hire somebody that can do that for you. Fortunately, we have our own team, so we don't have to outsource. But if you're in need, you can call us or a content creator or publishing company, and they can help you, create a newsletter or other social media blog content. Now, we're going to get a little technical here, but try not to get that technical. So if you understand the key concepts and tools in this whole AI thing, this NLP, natural language processing, utilized to analyze content, sentiment, extract key topics, generate dynamic and personalized content that captures the attention of readers. So um, we're using the computer AI to do all this. And there's the uh, ML, which is machine learning. There's algorithms that predict user preferences based on historical data, allowing publishers to customize content recommendations. Now, when you use AI to create your newsletter, you want that uh, program to be talking like how you talk instead of like how a robot would talk. So the natural language. So wouldn't it like if somebody wrote a an article in a newsletter and they used AI, so they use ChatGPT, okay, and it cranks out an article. Is that really how that person would talk? Like I'm writing an article, you read the article, and if a friend of mine, Martin would read it, he goes, "Hey, that doesn't even sound like you." Okay, so that's not what you want. You want it to sound like you're the one speaking. So if you use AI, you're gonna have to tweak it and kind of train it so that when the readers read the content, read the article, it sounds like you talking, right? So in other words, in the old days before AI, I used to write my own content. Now, today, I don't write my own content. I'm using AI, but when people read it, it's like it's coming from me, like I'm the one talking, because the AI that we're using is trained in the manner we speak and the words we use and all that. So that comes with spending time with AI. It's like you hired this person to work for your company, and you tell them, "Okay, I want you to be writing content all the time. I want you to be writing articles for our newsletter, articles for blog posting, social media posts, and all that, and it has to sound like you're the one talking." Okay, so it gets a little time consuming, but eventually it'll get there. What else? Key concepts and tools, data analytics. You're going to use AI to get more information so you can make data-driven decisions. Okay, you want your newsletter to be effective. You want it optimized. You want to make sure that you're creating the right content for your audience, right? So if you don't create the right content for your audience, the audience is not going to read your newsletter because it's going to be boring. Like, I don't need this stuff. I got so many other newsletters to read. I got news, the newspaper, and we get inundated every day with too much news. There's so much noise out there that I just personally, I went through before I went on my trip. I don't want to get all these emails, so I deleted like 80 accounts that I had because I don't want to get their newsletter, and I can always resubscribe. But that cleared up my email a lot. Okay, and there's these chatbots, AI-powered chatbots, provide personalized recommendations and answering of queries. Now, um, companies, have you been on websites where these big companies and you have to chat because like there's nobody to talk to? They don't even list their phone number, so you can't call them. So you got to go on their website, then all of a sudden, instead of like even emailing them, there's a chat feature. So you use chat. Did you know that it's AI that you're chatting with? In most cases, it's not a live person on the end. It's a computer. So that's the chatbot thing. And sometimes it's interesting. I'm thinking, wow, this is a personalized service I'm chatting with. And then I ask a different question and I get a response and I'm going, oh, it's a computer I'm talking to. Now you might say, okay, well, that's fine and good, but let's get real here. Okay, real world examples of actual newsletters, right? Um, and you can go on these websites to see for yourself. There's Netflix. They have their own newsletter. So they use AI and then they send personalized email newsletters, content recommendations. They know like what you've been watching and um, they can tailor personalized content to whatever you've been watching. If you're watching a lot of sci-fi movies, you might get your own newsletter with recommendations for more of the newest sci-fi movies, okay? Um, Spotify, they got personalized playlists. They send you emails, and so it's almost like they're spying on you because they know what your listening history is, your preferences. It's kind of crazy. It's just like when you go on Amazon, and I just happened to look at you know these guitars, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I wonder what this is about. I wonder what the features are. I wonder what the price is. And I don't buy it or anything. That's all. The next time I go on the website, guess what? It it has all these little boxes with different companies that are selling that similar guitar. They're like, holy macro, these guys are like spying on me. It's kind of scary, right? And then you have your New York Times. And when I was in New York, I passed by the building and they use AI too. They use AI for what? They analyze reader engagement, they collect information on you. They basically know what I read, what stories I like, and they kind of tailor it to that, right? So you could go on these websites and see what's happening if you want and subscribe to the newsletter and see if you're interested. And one thing for business owners that Martin and I could recommend is if you see a newsletter you like, subscribe to it. Even if you don't really like the content, look at it and understand what they're doing and copy the stuff that you think would apply. There's no there's no law that says a small business owner can't go on other businesses' websites and copy their ideas and all that, right? So, okay, so let's get down home, right? Here's I'm sharing you my newsletter. CMI is Construction Management Inspection. Here's a screenshot of the April newsletter. Um, I have we, I think the first week of June, we sent out our June newsletter. I'm actually working on July's newsletter and even August, so I can get ahead of the game. Um, so here's a screenshot of our newsletter April. We did one previous to that, which we called the spring newsletter to promote upcoming building expo show that we're in. If you actually want to see the whole newsletter, you can go on our website. It's hawaiibuildingexpert.com, and you can look at just to get an idea of how the newsletter's formatted and all that. And um, if you want to subscribe, that's fine. So we're also working on uh, a Small Business Hawaii newsletter, which we're not finished yet. I started it months ago, but I'm still tweaking it. Because I haven't been in a rush to send it out because we have a business directory, which I'll talk about at the end. Uh, we have 140,000 listings. And so we're going through this cleanup now, making sure we have all valid emails before we start sending out our Small Business Hawaii newsletter. So it's a big process that we're going through, but uh, it's gonna be good. So um, as you can see in the April newsletter, I'm not promoting my company. Okay, I'm not saying here we are, here's what we can do for you, and all that. I'm providing information. In fact, I try to take a holiday, like the April one, Happy Easter. Okay, we have an image of an Easter basket, and then I have a Q&A, and there's two articles a month that we talk about different things. So it's more to me about education, and I learn over the years that if you educate people, all of a sudden you're viewed as the thought leader, the expert, and then people want to do business with you because you've given them information and educating them for free, and they're going to gravitate towards you because they're like, oh, this is the expert go-to guy for this, right? You need your buildings fixed, go to Lance Luke. He's a guy because I've read his newsletters, I've seen, what he did. I looked at his company brochure and all that. So that's the kind of marketing I do. We're not like used car salespeople or timeshare people where we try and force you to buy. We we basically force you to get educated by the information, and we give free stuff. We actually spend time writing books and having our books published. All books that we wrote are published on Amazon. And if you want to buy it, it's for sale on Amazon, but we give it away free. So I probably shouldn't be saying that, but no wonder our book sales have been down. We give away too much free books. But that's what we do. Every time I ask Martin, my business partner, oh, should we start charging? And he goes, no, we want to help people, so give it away. Oh, okay. By the way, can I borrow $20 for lunch? Okay, so let's continue. How to implement AI in a newsletter strategy. Okay, practical steps and tips. Well, we might get a little technical here. Data collection and analysis. You want to collect as much information as you can. Analyze the user data to understand preferences, behavior, engagement patterns. I pretty know my audience because I meet them in person. And how do I do that? At the building show, we offer, we're a speaker, a presenter, uh, and we give a seminar. And at the seminar, we were able to collect names. We have an entry form that they can enter to win uh, a gift certificate for a restaurant. But at the same time, we capture their email, right? And we put them on our email list. And if they want to opt out, they can. We don't force anybody to read our stuff or listen to us. Okay. Next, choosing the right AI tools. Tools and platforms align with your newsletter goals. Well, basically, we're using AI to generate content for a newsletter. You can even ask AI, let's say if you don't even have a newsletter, ask AI what the elements of a good newsletter is, or um, make it more specific. Okay. Uh, I'm creating a newsletter for people who like to go to restaurants. Can you give me an outline or a sample of how a newsletter would look? I mean, just keep asking questions and get the response. Personalize strategies, and there's A and B testing. A and B testing, all it is you do one test or one example, you do another example that's similar, and then you compare the two. So uh, I try not to get into the nitty-gritty of all these testing and all that. What I want to do is just provide the information. It's going good. People can opt out if they want. We haven't had too many people opting out. But if I had a lot of people opting out, then I'd say maybe I got to change my strategy or my approach. And then you might ask, well, what kind of email uh, platform do you use? Well, we got two. We use Constant Contact and Beehive. We just signed up for Beehive just about a month ago. The reason why is when you're dealing with 100,000 to 140,000 names, uh, emails, Constant Contact can't handle that based on the 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 program that we signed up for. I mean, you're talking maybe $500 a month to pay with the or more with that volume of email. But for Constant Contact, I was paying like $40 a month or something. I don't know. You got to look at there's a tiered system based on the number of emails that you have. Okay, practical steps and tips. Um, this gets real specific. Sometimes you can there's the program you can use so when you send out the newsletter, it actually takes the person's first name and puts it in their email to them. So, Isaac, get ready for festival or whatever that word is. So, um, you can do that if you want. And sometimes, uh, when people fill out their email form, it'll say, they put like their email address is condo@gmail.com. And then when they fill out the form, their name is, condo last name building. So when the email newsletter sent out, instead of Isaac, it'll say condo, right? So that's sometimes it looks kind of weird, right? The future of AI and customer engagement through newsletters. It's been working for us. So let me share some Lucky Seven tips here. EMM, you might ask, what does that stand for? That's Expert Media Matters, which is our uh, digital marketing company. We also do general business consulting. Our email is Expert Media Matters. Well, our website is expertmediamatters.com. Um, so this is a recap of what I just got finished talking about, leveraging AI in newsletter creation and distribution. Personalize content with AI, automate content curation and also creation too. Optimize send times. Did you know that you can pick and choose a day and time that you want to send your newsletter out? So we have another platform we use where it sends out newsletters and um, social media posts, blog posts, and all that. And we set it up in a calendar and what day and what time, and then it's automated. So I'm on a trip, I'm on a cruise, and guess what? I'm having fun on a cruise, and every day something's being posted to my social media, or there's a blog post, or uh, my newsletter sent out. So that's the that's the good part. I can enjoy a vacation, but things are still getting out there. It doesn't stop. Interactive elements, AI-powered analytics, predictive content planning, and then implementation of chatbots. Now, that might get, if you're a small business, you necessarily may not be using the chatbots, but I'm looking into it right now. So when I'm finished with what I have to do in training and trying to roll it out when the time comes, and I'll fill you guys in on what the deal is, how good or bad or indifferent. And what you miss, we've given previous webinars on different subjects on not only social media, but um, marketing, branding, creating a website, social media posting, writing blog articles. It's all on our website, askmarketingexperts.now.site. And we have our webinars all recorded and it's there for free. You can watch. We have some takeaways which could be copies of our PowerPoint, and then also our Lucky Seven Tips as a separate handout. What's coming up next? We have we have a webinar on webinars, how to give webinars for promotion and different kind of things. So that's a webinar on webinars, and after that we'll be talking more about AI and all that. Here's the picture of me and my friend Nick Nanton, who's, I don't know, 21-time Emmy Award winner or something. I lost count already. So Times Square today. Can you imagine a local guy from Hawaii having to wear a suit, coat, and tie, walking down Broadway, feeling odd because I'm going to be interviewed on Times Square Today show? But it was good. It was fun, and I used that video and I put it on my websites. Okay, expertmediamatters.com. Here's our big website, askmarketingexperts.now.site. That website has all our webinars, video replays there. You can pick and choose which one you want. We have our content, uh, PowerPoints that you can grab. And also we have publications. So some of the books that I wrote are there and you can get it for free. By the way, I have another book coming out with Jack Canfield, who's the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul. And that should be coming out soon in a couple months. And then I also just published a book on Amazon called Get Known Now. So if you're a small business owner, you want to promote, you want to get more known, pick up that book. Got a lot of good tidbits of information for you. Now, here's something. If you're located in Hawaii or you do business in Hawaii, we're inviting you to join Best Hawaii Business Directory. You can get a free listing, besthawaiibusinessdirectory.com. You can get a free listing. If you want to pay for a bigger listing, you can upgrade. But it's all online, so people don't want to lug around the thick Yellow Pages book. They just go to our website and they can find whoever they need, a vendor, plumber, roofing contractor, travel agency, chiropractor, fix your car. I mean, it's all there. And then also, we have Small Business Hawaii, which is a networking association of business owners formed to network, share ideas, and help promote businesses in Hawaii. You can join now for free. Everybody who has a listing in a directory will be automatically a member of Small Business Hawaii. And if you're a member of Small Business Hawaii, you're going to get that free newsletter that I talked about, which we haven't completed yet. But that's coming up. And use AI to your advantage. Use AI, no wondering why. Wow, that's the title of my book that you can get free by going to our website. It's kind of like an AI 101 kind of thing. Use AI for creating websites or creating content for your websites, lead generation, social media posts, blog content, and much, much more. The much, much more would be newsletters too. So I thought that was good information. We're at the Q&A time. You got questions, we got answers. So if you need to get a hold of us, Lance Luke and Martin Pea, our phone numbers here on the screen, 808-286-5166. But let me warn you, if you call that number, you may have to leave a message because a lot of time Martin's down in the stream cleaning the stream out or getting ready for his garage sale coming up. But you can also email info@expertmediamatters.com. But we're here. If you need to run an idea by us, or we counsel general business marketing. We specialize in online marketing, but we do all kinds of things. We have our own publishing company. As I mentioned, we're publishing books every single month. We publish our own newsletter. We can help other businesses publish their newsletter, or if you're writing a book, I mean, if you want to just discuss stuff, we're happy to talk to you. That's just how we are. So, Martin, I'm glad that I finished early so we can take some questions that if you got any that came up. So, uh, what's going on? Any questions came up?
Well, we had a few questions that have come up here. Let me ask them to you. The first one is, given the emphasis on practical steps for implementing AI in newsletter strategies, could you share a real-world example of a business that successfully implemented AI? Sounds like your story. And the tangible results they achieved in terms of customer engagement and retention. Good question.
Okay. I can tell you that one example is a company. Well, the title of the newsletter, or yeah, at the top of the newsletter is called Morning Brew, and I guess Morning Brew is like probably coffee or something, but that's the title, and they got like 2 million subscribers. I'm one of the subscribers. They publish a newsletter every single day, and sometimes that's how I get my news stories from them. And they started off small, and they uh, grew pretty big. So if you want to see what their newsletter is, just go to, I think it's morningbrew.com or something like that. Another example is SBA, Small Business Administration. They have their own newsletter, and I think they publish like twice a day. Um, and the good part about the SBA one is they don't have any extraneous ads and all that because they're government, right? They have some, but not that many. And then another newsletter is SCORE, SCORE, which is linked with Small Business Hawaii. I mean, Small Business Administration, and they're actually an entity that counsels small business owners for free. I used to be a counselor there, mentor for about 8 years, uh, and they have like very good information. And they publish a monthly newsletter, which is fine because I don't have time to read every day if they publish. So those are examples of other newsletters, but my own newsletter, the construction management inspection newsletter, we have about I don't know, the last time I looked, it was about 6,000 something uh, subscribers to our list, and we send our newsletter out every month, once a month. And I used to be once a month gung ho, and then I got too busy writing articles and things, so then I changed it to every quarter. And then I kind of got lazy. And this is like before AI. And then when AI came, I said, there's no excuse for me not to send a newsletter out every month because I can easily get content, right? So now we're on a monthly schedule. It's kind of embarrassing when I bump into people prior to our month and go, "Hey, you took me off your email list because I'm not getting your newsletters." And I'm going, "Oh, no, but sorry, I didn't send one out yet. I'm working on one." So I don't like to be like put in that kind of situation. So, and the feedback I get is people telling me, we look forward to your newsletter. We learn a lot, and I tell people, you got any topics you want me to write about? Let me know. Just like when we give our webinars, do you have any topics you want covered? Let me know, and then we'll consider them. And some of our webinars, our topics have been by popular demand because people have been asking to talk about it. Now, I'm deviating a little, but when we had that Lahaina fire, right after that, people were going, "Hey, you're the building expert. We want to know what's going on. Can you like give a webinar about that topic?" And then we did a pop-up webinar. Martin and I put our content together real fast. We have a team that helps us, our assistants in the Philippines, and we put that webinar together fast, building the PowerPoint. And there's even a book that we um, published about Lahaina fire. So that's how we're able to do things and fast because we're in control. We're not waiting around for some third party. He goes on vacation or he's sick or whatever, and we're behind in our schedule now. But anyway, back to the initial question. So we published our own newsletter. We started off small. I think I had 60 people signed up. I actually had to ask people. I have a newsletter and it was, realtors. Can I take your business card and add you to my, list for newsletter? If you don't like it, you can like delete it or unsubscribe or whatever. And I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. And now it's like, okay, I'm cranking out content, people are enjoying it. And the fun part about it for me is that I'm not forcing them to read it or get the email newsletter. They can unsubscribe anytime they want. So uh, I'm happy because we don't get too many people unsubscribing. Now we don't know if they're well, we know if they're opening it up, but I don't know if everyone's actually reading it. But if I want to, I can find out. I can actually find out when they open their email, right? How long they stayed on one page or whatever. But that's all analytics that I don't care to know about. All I need to know is the newsletter going out? Are people reading it? And you look at the open rate and all that. So it's all percentages. So it's all good. So hopefully I answered that question. Um, so we're able to retain and my information, the newsletter has specific information on building and construction and little real estate stuff. So my content is very specific to that industry. So that could be why we're our retention rate's so high because uh, we're really directing our content to our target audience. So you gotta be mindful of that because if you run a newsletter for everybody, then you're gonna eliminate a lot of people that aren't interested in what you have to say. So that's the whole idea of thing. So Martin, I don't know, did I do a good job answering that question?
Oh, I thought you did an excellent job. And I was just going to comment that one of the things I've noticed is a lot of the people on the newsletter list become, follow you a lot on your social media site. So you get a lot of cross pollination of your different media sources and vice versa. Yeah. So that's the other benefit is it gives you more exposure. And of course, then that exposure can roll over into other media, especially the social media side, where I know you have a lot of your newsletter followers that follow you on Facebook also. So just my comment on that. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that. You know what's funny is I saw a Facebook post and you're right. I guess somebody read an article in my newsletter and they went on Facebook and they said, "Oh, you talked about electrical, but I have this question." And then the other people on Facebook had no idea what the person was talking about because so then I have to say, "Oh, okay, I guess you read my article in the newsletter," and then I have to kind of straighten it out. It's almost like I'm maybe in a live seminar and somebody in the front asks a question, but no one else can hear it, and then I just give the answer without repeating the question. Everyone's confused, going, "What? What are you talking about?" So that's why I gotta remember that the people in the front or anywhere and asking the question, I have to repeat the question so everyone has the same starting point. That's why I always tell you, hey, Martin, go run over there with the microphone, right?
Right,
So
right, right.
it's all good. So we got any other questions or
Yeah, we
comments?
get a couple more here. Let me see if we can hit them before you got to go. The next is what emerging trends in AI do you foresee playing a pivotal role in the future of customer engagement through newsletters? And how can businesses prepare to leverage these trends effectively?
Well, the more we use AI in content and analytics and all that, um, the better. I haven't used AI to analyze too much. I've been using AI mostly to uh, obtain content. But I think in answer to the question, start using AI to see uh, what the interaction is with the readership and how we can change the content to be better for the readers. I've been doing that kind of on my own without using AI, but I think we could do both because I'm always in the field talking to people and trying to get information. So I gather my own data. In other words, I kind of use my own, I become my own AI. Before AI even existed, I was doing the research on my own and trying to compile data and all that. But it's a lot easier now. So I would say uh, just be aware of what's out there and try to see what AI can do and what it can't do. And the industry is changing so fast that it's almost impossible to keep up with what's going on. What you hear, what you hear on the general news about AI, that's like the tip of the iceberg,
Mm.
right? I subscribe to specific AI publications and all that. So sometimes it's so technical that I don't even want to read it because they got all these graphs and I mean, reminds me of when I went to high school taking calculus and trigonometry class, and I'm like, I don't need all this. Am I ever going to use this stuff? Right? So,
Mm.
well, leave it up to other people that specialize in that. As a business owner, we just need to know if it works, if it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, how do we tweak it to make it work? How do we make it better? Right? You have this little mousetrap. Well, how do we make it better? How do we make it work better for us as a small business owner? So that's the whole deal.
Oh, very good, Lance. And I think it gets back to that one of your ending slides. The key to figuring it all out for whatever business you're in is use it and test it, try it like you've been doing all these years to really see how it fits their needs. Because until you do something with it, you don't know what you can do. Yeah.
Yeah,
So very
that's right.
good. Very good. Okay, let me see. The next question, and I think it's the last one so far, is about personalization. It says personalization is a key aspect discussed in the presentations here, and especially in creating targeted and relevant content. Could you elaborate on specific personalization strategies that have proven to be particularly effective?
Well, personally, what I do is as I going around doing my business as a construction engineer, construction manager, I'm gathering information from clients, and then from that, that's how I get my ideas for the Q&A and get my ideas for articles for the newsletter.
Hmm.
So I don't necessarily only in fact, you know what? I don't even use AI for topics of articles for my newsletter. I come up with that on my own from experience. Every day I make a list. I may use AI for further information or to support or get additional information on the subject matter. So what I do is I kind of write a little bit about the subject matter, and then I have AI add to that. So I want to make it clear that I'm not using AI and only AI to generate content. It's a combination of both. In some cases, there's no AI involved at all for one particular article. I'm writing the whole article. So I could write the article, submit it to AI, and have AI review it and add their content, comments, or maybe uh, fix the grammar or something like that. So I mean, it's a useful tool. It saves me so much time because um, we generate newsletter articles, blog articles, social media posts, and um, the idea is you want to save yourself time. So let's say that I write a social media post or a blog article. Okay, it's not a standalone. So the idea is you take the social media post content or you take the blog article and that becomes an article for your newsletter, right? So if you're posting to social media and you have content, what's the reason why you can't use the same content? You can tweak it a little for an article in your newsletter. So that's what I mean when I talk to people and they go, I'm too busy to write a newsletter. Well, can you write like a newsletter once a quarter? Well, maybe. Okay, so then I ask, do you post on social media? Oh yeah. Well, what do you post about? How often do you post? And then I said, you don't have a newsletter, right? Do you want to be in front of your clients and customers? And it doesn't matter what business you're in. It doesn't matter what service you're providing or what products you sell or if you're a nonprofit or whatever. If you want to get in front of people and make sure they don't forget about you, that's where the newsletter comes in, right? So I asked them, you're posting on social media, right? Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Yeah. How often do you post? Maybe twice a week. And you don't have a newsletter. No, I don't have time. Okay, what about this? You know the content that you generated for your social media posts? Why can't you have that same content be the article for your newsletter? And the light bulb went on. I said, wow, I never thought of that. And I said, you have a different audience. When you're posting on social media, it's not necessarily the same email list that you have. So you got to use it. And then like, wow, that's like a good idea. I'm all about repurposing content. Martin and I are too busy to be generating 50 social media posts and then that's it, right? If we generate 50 blog articles, guess what? That now I have 50 articles for my newsletter. I can sit back and like, I don't have to write anything for the next year. I got enough content for my newsletter. But then the thing is it what you want to say, right? Is it timely? If it's not timely, then that's you just don't plug it in your newsletter just for the sake of getting the newsletter on. It has to be something timely. And we pride ourselves at being timely, very timely. For instance, uh, when we had that Baltimore bridge collapse, we were timely on that. We had the Florida building collapse, timely. We had a railing collapse at Waikiki, timely. So anytime there's something within a matter of a month or so, we want to get some content out pertaining to that while it's still in people's mind. It's top of mind subject matter. Because if you write something, yeah, writing about this building that collapsed, like, okay, whatever, right? But if it comes out a month or two right after the actual event happened, then people are still going to be remembering it and go, wow, yeah, I remember that story. Well, what is this guy talking about? Right? So it's all related. And fortunately, we're able to jump. We're on a big ship. we can, if we need to make a little turn, we can turn right away. We don't have to wait. We don't have to get corporate approval. Oh, can we like write this article? And by the time you get the answer yes back, 3 months have passed already. That's why to me, I have fun running a small business because we can instantly make changes when we want. We can get material out fast. If I wanted to actually, after this webinar, post something on social media, I can do that and it's there within seconds, right? That's the advantage of we're in control. We're able to do things on our own and have fun doing it and hopefully make money doing it, right? And I don't have to borrow lunch money from Martin. So Martin, you got any last words?
No, I haven't seen anything else come through the media here, but I just thought I'd ask you a little bit about the personalization from the standpoint of I understand what you're saying about the content that you want to create, but what do you see in terms of the content being delivered being more personalized to the audience? The personalization which we're seeing in our other products where it's really like you mentioned about Netflix, being able to identify what you're interested in as a customer and it delivering information that's more personalized along the topic of whatever you're sharing to that customer. Do you see how that might be developing in our content?
Well, it's a little harder because on Netflix, right? And the other examples that I gave, people are actually going to the website and watching movies and selecting movies and that. So
Correct.
they have a bigger advantage. I don't have that same advantage because when we send out our newsletter, we have a customer base. People aren't going to our website to watch a movie or anything, right? They're
True.
going to
True.
mainly get information. Although our Ask the Marketing Experts website, people go to that and they're watching our webinars, right? So we could get track the data and all that, which we're not doing right now, but we haven't really set it up to do that. So we know how many people are watching the videos by looking at the count, right? But we're not tracking it like where they're from or how long they're watching the videos or whatever. So
True. That's
yeah.
true.
So
But
maybe we can do that, but I don't know if it would help. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's coming to some extent already. That's all a matter of how extensive our base of data is on the customers we have, and the more data you have, which is like the Netflix, the more data you have about what they're interested in, the more you can personalize even better the interests of your customers. So that's the next step of AI and everything is to really custom address what's the needs of your customers when that time comes. Yeah. So,
All
but
right, great. So we're wrapping up now. Thank you everybody for joining us. We really appreciate you watching live, and if you're not watching live, we appreciate you watching watching it. We're on any social media posts. If you miss it, go to our website and grab it, and hopefully you learn and get some information for that. That's why we do this. So join us on the next one, and we'll see you again. Thank you. Aloha, mahalo.